You're watching CHCO-TV's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the September 2nd, 2025 regular council meeting for the town of St. Andrews. I'm Florence Mitchell. In today's meeting, under Finance and Administration, Councillor Heenan will move that Council accepts Adeline Lane as a public street as part of the development agreement with Van Horn Garden Homes. And under Recreation and Environment, Councillors Gumichel and Blanchard will move that Council approves a request for municipal resources from the St. Andrews Paddling Club. Now let's join Council at the W.C. O'Neill Arena Complex Council Chambers in St. Andrews.
Thank you, Mr. Spear, and welcome to the regular council meeting of the town of St. Andrews on Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the W.C. O'Neill Arena Complex in the council chambers. We ask that if you want to join, that you check out the clerk at townofstandrews.ca, all lowercase letters, for clerk at townofstandrews.ca. To join us or to ask for questions at the end of the program. Thank you. The next is recording of attendance, and all are present except for Councillor Gumichel. He's not here this evening, so he's absent. Everybody else is here. I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the Pescatomakati Nation's homeland. We welcome you, and we recognize that we are on the unceded traditional territory of the Pescatomakati people. Approval of agenda. I need a motion for a mover for the agenda, and I have Councillor Harland, seconded by Councillor Heenan. Any additions or amendments? No, there being none, then I need a...
Sorry, Your Worship.
Sorry, Councillor Weir, sorry.
Is there one motion that should be deleted?
Yes, the Adeline, no, that's going to Councillor Bennett. It's the one that...
Number 3.
the Economic Business and Development with your councillors, Councillor Weir. It will be at the October 3rd with the group, or they're not going to do it, the Historical Society. That's not that one? Sorry. Which one are we looking at? Councillor Weir? Which one is it, Councillor Weir?
It's the one on the Heritage.
Yeah, that's the one I had said, the Heritage one. They're not doing it at this time. Yeah. They're going to wait a year. So that will have to be removed from the agenda.
Yeah.
And it's already removed.
That has to be added, then has to be
and
withdrawn.
And then it was asked to be withdrawn. So it's not there on
So
our...
officially it never existed.
Okay, so we don't need to amend the
Well, it's
agenda.
on my copy. So.
Yeah, sorry. They removed it because they're going to wait a year. Anything else?
It's on your copy too.
Then we'll take the vote. All those in favor of accepting the approval of the agenda as it is, say aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Disclosure of conflict of interest. I don't think there's anything that we have a conflict of interest on tonight. Presentations, as far as I know.
You just have to ask council if they...
Yes. Oh, council, is there
if they have a conflict, yeah.
Sorry. Council, do you have a conflict with anything we're going to discuss tonight? No? Okay. Presentations, I'm not aware of any, Mr. Spear, so there are none. So we're going to go through the approval of the minutes of the previous meetings, and we'll do them fairly quickly. So the first ones are the minutes of July 29th, 2025, a special meeting of council And the recommended motion is that the minutes of the 28/07/29 special council meeting on Tuesday, July 29th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. be adopted. I need a mover. Councillor Blanchard, seconder. Councillor Harland. Any discussion on the minutes? If not, then we'll vote on them. All those in favor of accepting those minutes, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. The second set are the minutes of the August 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m., a special meeting of council, and the recommended motion is that the minutes of the special council meeting on Monday, August the 18th of 2025 at 6 p.m. be adopted. I need a mover. Councillor Heenan, seconder. Councillor Blanchard. Any discussion? Amendments? Okay. All those in favor of accepting those minutes, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. And the last set is the minutes of August 18th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. It's the regular meeting of council. And the recommended motion is this, that the minutes of the regular council meeting on Monday, August the 18th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. be adopted. I need a mover. Councillor Harland, seconder. Councillor Bennett. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Communications, there was a letter from Spindrifters. I don't need to read that. Everybody should have had it in their package. It was a great letter telling them the activities that Spindrifters do. I know I'm involved with them, and I don't get to many of their social activities, but I certainly do get to play cards every once in a while. And it's a good group of people, so very nice. And Flo's mom plays now, so it's really nice to see all these people coming from away to play games. Good social time, if you're interested. And then we have the staff reports. Mr. Spear?
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. Happy September to everyone. With the heat wave finally broken, I personally enjoy the autumn weather over the summer temperatures. Tourism will begin to wane, but with the schools starting up again, this will be a busy time of year. This report will be shorter, as it has only been 2 weeks since the last CAO report. We are back to our normal schedule moving forward. Mail-out announcements went out last week about the upcoming municipal plan consultation sessions taking place in early September. So all the following meetings are from 6 to 8 p.m. September the 4th, we're upstairs here at the arena. September the 10th, we're at Bayside Hall from 6 to 8. September 11th, we're at the ASF Nature Center from 6 to 8. And then on September the 17th, which is a Wednesday, we have a virtual session at 11 a.m. And that virtual session will be recorded if people want to view it later. A similar presentation will be given at all venues, but there will be special emphasis on the specific community we are in. We hope to see many people out as they provide a foundation for this council and the next council. Copies of the draft municipal plan are available online or pop into Town Hall. In May, Council started the process to amend the composition of council bylaw to reduce the current council from 9 plus the mayor to 6 plus the mayor. The proposed ward composition will be 1 each of Bayside and Shamrock, while the ward of St. Andrews will be 4. As a comparison, within the Department of Local Government literature, it states the community under 5,000 should have a council, or could have a council as low as the mayor plus 3 councillors. As required under the Act, we have to put out a notice to the public last week and must wait 10 days before first reading, which is planned for September the 15th. There is a request before Council tonight for in-kind support for the Dragon Boat Festival, which continues to grow in its 4th year. With teams from different parts of the Maritimes, the competition is expanding so that they even need to bring in a professional organization to run the festival to allow the local volunteers to focus on competing. Under administration, On August 28th, the Passamaquoddy Recognition Group held a celebration as they gifted a new search and rescue vessel for Passamaquoddy Bay. Mayor, council, and local voters are grateful for this asset within our region. The mayor and I met with one of the owners of the Algonquin Resort and provided us with an update of a couple of their local projects. The housing units on the corner of Carlton and Harriet Streets face some difficulties in getting the lot and foundation started, but to hope to have it completed by this November. The spa project on Prince of Wales is also underway, as the in-ground infrastructure is near completion and they're planning to open it late next spring. They are hoping to have a groundbreaking ceremony in September. Once the dates are confirmed, I'll pass it along to council. The human resource consultant has shortlisted a handful of candidates that we will be interviewing within the next few days, which is for the clerk's position. We had dozens of applications across Canada and internationally, but the position requires fairly unique skills and experience, so many of the applicants were not qualified for the position. However, we have a list of potential candidates that could jump in and do the job well. Under services, in the month of August, staff at the Service Commission performed a sweep in town looking for non-permitted and illegal signs. The regulations are within the zoning bylaw and have been in place for many years, as they are almost similar to the conditions in previous versions of that bylaw. In addition, our building permits show construction of $13.5 million year to date. While some of the growth won't show up until 2027 assessments, the continued growth is encouraging. The recreation manager has provided a lengthy report on their summer's activities, as well as many initiatives for this fall. There is a greater demand for our resources, and the staff are diversifying our offerings. Please tune into the Facebook page for our recreation department, as that has the most up-to-date activities. I wish to thank all our summer students for their contribution this season. We strive to provide a positive work environment by fostering personal growth by holding them to normal workplace performance standards while respecting their inexperience, and in return, they provide courteous service and a positive attitude. I wish them well as they go off to school and look forward to having some of them return in 2027. In conclusion, fall activities will be starting in full force, including Race by the Sea on September 20th, the same weekend as Oktoberfest in the downtown, and Trail Fest on the 27th. I should also mention Truth and Reconciliation Day will be at the end of the month at Indian Point. Also, as mentioned earlier, 4 open houses are taking place on the draft municipal plan. Respectfully submitted, Chris Spear, CAO.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. Thank you, Mr. Spear. Okay. So, we will move to, I need a mover to accept the staff reports as in our minutes. Councillor Harland, secondary Deputy Mayor, Acting Deputy Mayor Steve Neal. Any questions or comments? Saying, oops, Councillor Heenan, you got right in there.
I got right in there. I was reading the fire department and the report, and I must say that I was very impressed by the fire department responded to 26 incidents. And on another note, Cameron Marshall did a great job this summer. And I would just like to say thank you very much for all he had done, because at times he was put to the test. So I just wanted to say on behalf of the town, thank you. Thank you, Your Worship.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, Cameron puts in 40,000 steps a day. So you want to keep up with him if you're working on steps. He does I think he does a great job too, Councillor Heenan. We're going to miss him. Hopefully he'll come back next year. We didn't deed him away, so he may come back next year. Anything else? Seeing nothing, seeing none. Then we'll move to accept the report. Oh, wait, we have to vote. Sorry? We have to vote on it. So all those in favor of accepting the reports, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Okay, that's done. Introduction and passing of bylaws. Now, I understand, Councillor Heenan, you have managed to get out of yours and pass it on to Councillor Bennett with Public Works and Safety Committee. So Councillor Bennett, you'll be the first one. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship, Council, and staff. Reference number PWPS 250911. The subject, acceptance of Adeline Lane as a public street. And the background reads, on April 27th, 2022, Council signed a development agreement with Charlie Bourgeois for the development of homes in the vicinity of Barr Road and Mowat Drive. As part of the process, Council approved taking over a public street, Adeline Lane, once it met municipal standards. A resolution of Council is required as per 5.4.2 of the development agreement. The proponent has met the conditions for the public infrastructure, including water and sewer mains. Staff are satisfied with the quality and construction has met our standards, and the transfer to the municipal inventory should be completed. It needs to be noted that the developer warranties the assets for 1 year after Council accepts them. And the action before us tonight is that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews accepts Adeline Lane as a public street as per paragraph 5.4.2 of the development agreement between 603366 Limited and the Town of St. Andrews, and I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Bennett. We need a seconder. Councillor Heenan? Any further comments? Oh, Heenan. Seeing none, then I'll call for the question. All those in favor of accepting Adeline Lane, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. All right. Recreation would be the next one because there's no economic and culture. Oh, we have memorial bench, and that is yours, Councillor Heenan, and it's going to go to Mr. Spear, who's going to explain about the benches.
Sure. Thank you, Your Worship and Council. So the benches we're talking specifically about are a lot of the memorial benches, a lot along Water Street, the fancier ones. Some are at the wharf and some are at everything from Elizabeth Park to the Point. They've been a very successful program. Most of them have been donated, but a lot of them are starting to show their wear, and they all came from a specific manufacturer, and some of the components can't be replaced anymore. The manufacturer just doesn't carry that brand. So we're starting to have people ask about doing that program again. And what we'd like to suggest is that emphasis be put back on replacing the inventory on Water Street. I meant to include the policy, but the policy states that the council only will guarantee the bench for 10 years before it's worn out. So anyone that had given that knew it only had a 10-year life, that we only collected the cost, not enough to do repairs forever. And so we'd like to reopen up that program. It was stopped for a combination of reasons during the, COVID, during the 2020. But we'd like to open it up again. We can advertise it some, but that we emphasize that people will replace the benches along Water Street. We're open to others, but there's a combination of the things do go missing. They grow feet and walk away sometimes. And so sometimes we put them in more isolated places. They're taken away. We also have an issue that they have to be, we try to store them inside over the winter, so we do run out of room there. We have to buy shipping containers. So, sorry, that's my computer. So all I'm asking is permission to reopen that program, and I can update the policy and bring it forward for final acceptance if everyone's okay with that moving forward.
Yeah,
I think we're open to other areas. We don't have much public spaces, if any, out in Bayside and Shamcook that we can access it to, but if, I'm open to other locations, but the benches along Water Street are certainly appreciated, and for most of the givers, that's where they like them, so they can see them and everyone else can too.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. Council, what is your comments on opening it up? Councillor Heenan?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Spear. That's a wonderful idea. I had a neighbor of mine talk to me about it, and I'm glad to see the program. I'm just kind of thinking, like we were speaking, there's not a lot of common area in Shamcook and Bayside, but maybe someone of Bayside would like to have one at the hall. Would that be possible? Like, could put it out in the hall and at the church in Shamcook? I don't know. Is that a possibility?
Or even the Atlantic Salmon
Well,
Federation.
Well, so taking a step backwards, the hall, sure, if there's a need for it, if people would enjoy it out there, absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess the town are only accepts responsibility for stuff on their own property.
Okay.
So if other areas want them, like the church, they can certainly arrange it on their own. They have charity numbers as much as we do.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. Any other comments? Oh, Councillor Weir?
Yeah, I was going to bring up the hiking trail on Simpson's Hill once you get up on the lookoff. But again, it's on provincial land, even though I think Sortie has taken it under their wing, or at least I had an indication of that. But it's an ideal spot for one, but like I say, the province owns all the land going up, and I own the land to the lookoff, so it's, I guess, outside the policies.
But it could be looked at
Well,
by, if somebody wanted.
Staff suggestion is just a suggestion. Certainly,
Yeah.
we're open to any recommendations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Spear. Thank you, Councillor Weir. Any other comments, Councillor Neal? Deputy Mayor Neal?
Just a quick question, I guess. So do the people that are coming forward proposing a memorial bench or wanting to dedicate one to a loved one or something, do they have any suggestion in the placement of it? Like, I'm thinking to Councillor Weir's point, if somebody was a avid hiker and would like one on Simpson Hill, like, is that an option within the program?
With limited, it has to do with the staff's ability to fetch them and take them out.
Right.
It's what would come to a lot to, and I think this, and we also buy differently. It's the only thing. So if people have noticed, out at the point, we tend to buy what's called they have concrete bases with a concrete base. So you have to be Superman. If someone moves those, I don't want to mess with them. They can happily
Yeah.
take the bench. But but seriously, we have to buy different benches compared to the downtown, which are more easily watched. So the program was open to anywhere where we could access them, but it's just that the ones downtown are looking pretty shabby, are going to have to be
Right.
disposed of one way or the other. So as people come in, we'll probably say, it's your choice, but we'd love to be able to place it in the downtown. And so people are aware too, because some of my people think there's enough down there, but not realizing that some of them are probably on their last year or two of safe usage.
What about the ones that are maybe past their prime? Could the families come back and say, we want to keep that bench and replace it?
Certainly,
have the
I'll
first
talk with
choice?
Public Works about it too. If we can retrace back to exactly who bought it, we might be able to, I guess we can't give it back to them because we gave them a charitable receipt.
Hmm.
Anyway, people can certainly replace the bench if they want to, but the benches in most part are in great shape anyway. They might be okay at a private
Didn't some of
residence.
them have a little plaque?
Most of them do have a little brass
Yeah.
plaque. Anything that's been donated, we provide a plaque on them.
Okay, that's what I thought. Any other questions, council, or any comments? So, did we move that? I can't remember. Okay, so we need a mover to?
No.
No?
I've got directions
You've
from
got
council,
directions to do
so
that?
I may update the policy and bring it
Okay.
forward next meeting just for final acceptance.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. That's great. Okay, moving right along. New business?
No, on page 91, there's an
Oh,
item,
91, I missed
the Dragon Boat Festival.
the Dragon Boat. So, sorry, Dragon Boat people. Councillor Gomes-Shell isn't here, so Councillor Blanchard, it's up to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. There's no reference number for this in my agenda, Mr.
Oh, there
Spear.
is in the, it's RE 250908.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
So the subject is the St. Andrews Paddle Club request for municipal resources. Background is the 4th annual Race by the Sea Dragon Boat Festival is being staged in Katie's Cove on September the 20th, 2025. For this year's event, there is a request for the following resources: 24 metal barricades, 4 wooden street barricades, no parking signs, a bleacher section,
Sorry.
14 picnic tables, and extra garbage cans and recycle bins. From the staff's perspective, there are some challenges. This is a significant request and will require 4 public work employees, half a day to move the items down and an additional half day to bring the items back to storage or their original location. The 14 picnic tables will almost leave none in the rest of the town, as we only have 18 to 20 in our inventory. Because of the no parking signs in the plat to enforce the vehicular bylaw, staff will need to create additional temporary signs. Staff note that this is a significant event and will support council's direction, but wanted to make us aware of the magnitude of the request. Staff will also work with the organizers to see about using some folding tables instead of picnic tables. So the motion before council is that the council of the town of St. Andrews approves the request by the St. Andrews Paddle Club for 24 metal barricades, 4 wooden street barricades, no parking signs, a bleacher section, 14 picnic tables, and extra garbage cans and recycle bins, and a partridge in a pear tree. No, not that. Friendly amendment, remove that. I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Blanchard. A seconder, please. Councillor Harland. I have a question. Are the ones from BIA, the portable event, barricades, are they here yet or not?
Half them are, yes.
Half them are. So could they use those instead of making more wooden street barricades, do you think?
The only problem is we have to bring staff in to do it because you have to bring in a water truck to fill them. They're empty, bring them empty and then refill them.
Yes.
So,
would that be easier than making wooden ones? No? Okay.
no, the barricades won't be as much a problem. It was the signs that are,
the signs,
we have to
okay.
make more stanchions for signs, but we can
All right.
handle that.
Thank you for clarifying. All right, any further comments, council? Yes. Oh. Councillor, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Again, just checking with staff, does Public Works have all of this equipment already in place? I'm mainly thinking of the bleacher section and, again, the 14 picnic tables. I'm not sure we have that many.
Well, that's
They're all over town.
if you give us the flexibility to work with them
Those
on
folding tables.
the folding tables, I can say they won't like the folding tables and understand why, because the dragon boats are 10 people. If you have 10 people throwing their equipment on a folding table, it'll be a splat table. So we'll have to see what we can do to accommodate them. But it will leave us fairly short. That weekend, I think that's the same weekend as Oktoberfest, so there'll be a lot of people in town, so we'll see what we can do. There might be other partners in town who can loan us, even 4 or 5, so we'll see what we can do.
And the bleacher section, is that something that we have?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, it's the same ones like you use for Canada Day down in the square.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. Councillor Heenan.
Okay, I say this with total respect for the Paddle Club's request. I just find it to be a big, heavy move for our town staff. I know what a picnic table weighs, because I've moved them, and I mean to move like 18 or 14 picnic tables and go pick them up from around town and take them down and drop them off, and then the next day have to take them back. I find that's quite an ask for our town staff, because the no parking signs, I really don't have much of a problem with that, because they're kind of easy to snap together. And as Deputy Mayor mentioned about the bleachers, they're quite easily assembled. Am I correct, Mr. Spear? It's not that hard.
Well, no, it's
No.
time, little
It's
time consuming. We
time
photocopy it and they
Yeah.
gotta build like the little ones you see along
Yes.
Queen Street and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, the bleachers is not a real problem to put up, is it?
Well, it's all together. They just have to load it onto a trailer and haul it down.
It's the picnic tables that I really, really have a lot of problems with, because that's a huge ask, I feel. And it also takes away from our picnic tables in the downtown core. If we could work out something different for the picnic tables, I would be quite happy with the whole deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Heenan. Any other comments? Councillor Weir.
Well, I'll comment from the point of view, last year was the first year I went. And other than it cost me a fortune, donations, but working with something other than a picnic table would be very difficult because you had a lot of people milling around these tables, throwing stuff on them, putting drinks on them and all types of things. And I think anything other than a picnic table is going to be very difficult to work with.
Thank you. Councillor, Deputy Mayor
Just
Neal?
a comment, I guess I'm thinking the folding table sounded like a great idea, but I guess with that comes chairs as well.
No, for sure. And after I typed it and submitted it to council, I thought, oh, that's a terrible idea, just because I know they have duffel bags with their equipment and stuff. They're coming down. So for 2 or 3 people, it'd be good, but I think the teams are 10 or 11 people. So
Yeah, and
we'll have
most
to
of-
work with other people in the community to see if
And
we
most of
can
them bring their own chairs anyway.
garner a handful of picnic tables from, if we had even 5 from the community, then that would just leave a few around town for people that aren't involved in the event.
Thank you, Mr. Spear. Councillor Harland.
Thank you. I recognize that this is an ask on of public safety, but the Dragon Boat Festival has grown significantly over the last few years. It brings in a tremendous number of people into our town, and we, our businesses downtown, all benefit from that, right? Some stay for the weekends, whether they grab a meal at some point or whatever. It just brings a lot of traffic into our town, which is great. So whatever we can do to support the Dragon Boat Festival, that's what I would like to support.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Weir?
Yes, I'd like to make a second comment as a follow-up to Councillor Harlan. The business community does derive tremendous benefit from it. So I'm wondering if the Chamber of Commerce, the BIA, any of those organizations should not try to partner with us to meet this request, because they are ultimately the ones that benefit from it.
Thank you, Councillor Weir. Any other comments? Then we will vote on it. Oh, Councillor Heenan, you sneaking in again.
You knew it wouldn't get over by this quick. I totally agree with everything about supporting the Dragon Boat. I feel that if this is going to become an annual event, then perhaps as a council, we need to do some foresight into the idea of perhaps having a supply, even 4 or 5 picnic tables that we can leave there as part of the whole deal, because it wouldn't hurt for Katie's Cove to have 4 or 5 picnic tables, number one, and number two, it would cut down on the amount of lifting and tugging each and every year. And as we see by the data and the stats that we have here, it's a growing thing. So I think it's council's responsibility perhaps to do a little forward thinking of how we can make this easier for everybody. And that's what I would like to see. It's just, this is a wake-up call for me. It's just the fact that, like, and I'm so glad that it's a big event. I'm not saying that. I just think that we as a town can do better in our forward thinking on maybe having a few tables available. Thank you.
And we used to have a Dragon Boat that we put in as a council, so we did, we did. And I think, Councillor Neal, do you still, or Deputy Mayor Neal, do you still Dragon Boat?
No, actually I haven't since we set the course record, I think a year.
You beat the mayor?
Just, again, I think you mentioned that this might be the same weekend as Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Do we have any other asks in at the moment? Like, I know they often
They
have
usually
quite a
put
few
an
picnic
ask.
tables lined up there in
Yeah.
the square. And
We had to remind them to ask us, so next meeting.
all right,
Yeah. And
first come,
maybe,
first serve.
since we're on air, that the BIA and the chamber might, go in and even the Dragon Boaters might go in to buy a picnic table that stays there at Katie's Cove, or Katie's Cove Inc. might help out with that too. So over the next year or so, because it's going to continue, I hope. All right, with that being said, shall we vote? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. All right. Oops, sorry about that. Now we don't have any new business, and so we're into question period. Any questions from the floor? Any questions, Mr.? Oh. Okay.
Susan Sims. One question I have is when Chris Spear mentioned the summer students coming back, he said he hoped they came back in 2027. Why not 2026?
Okay. Thank you.
The other question is, 10 years seems a little bit of a short life for a bench, perhaps. I'm wondering if there was any maintenance done on them, and if there was maintenance done on them and they still only lasted 10 years, that perhaps a different type of bench might be considered. The other question is, it was mentioned that there's little plaques on each bench. So I would wonder what would happen to those plaques if the bench was not replaced by the same family, if that plaque could be retired to a certain place for display or returned to the family, or what would happen to those plaques.
Thank you. Good questions. The type of benches that we're looking at now are cement, correct? We will be looking at maybe, or
No.
some alternate material.
Those for remote. So
Okay.
there's been some work done on the benches. It's just, you can't buy cedar anymore anywhere for anything. So that was part of the problem. But as you know, they've got this unique iron design, so the things are molded a certain way and that we just can't replace them. So that's why we want to update them. We do sand and paint them where necessary, but we'll probably go to a more composite bench, which, to Ms. Sims' point, would probably last 20 years or better with the new materials they have. And the plaques, we do whatever we can to return them to the families
Yes.
of the donors, if we can identify them. Sometimes they just say, given by the family of Chris Spear. We don't necessarily know which family member made the donation, but we'll work to our best ability to do that.
And what if they aren't claimed? Do they go to like a home? Or
What's that, the benches?
no, the plaque, if they're not claimed by the family,
Oh,
can they be placed somewhere is what Mrs. Sims.
I guess we'd have to talk to the council about
Okay.
that. We don't have a good display area
No,
for
we don't.
anything, but we could figure out something, I'm sure. It's a good idea.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the online? Mr. Spear?
No questions through email, Your Worship. And again, if people have any questions or comments, they can only reach out to mayor or staff through the rest of the week.
Thank you. And so we're on to councillors and deputy mayor's comments. Councillor Heenan.
I'm replacing a few counselors tonight to talk more than I do.
That's okay, you have to make up for them.
I did some dumpster diving today. I went into the post office and I went through the garbage can at the post office. And I stopped counting at 20 notices that were given out for the municipal plan, the information, et cetera. So at 20, I stopped counting. I spoke with the postmistress, and there was a bunch last week as well thrown out. So this leads me to my point of people saying that they're not communicated with, that they have a problem with the fact that they're not getting information, et cetera. Well, there's 20 residents in the downtown core who threw them out immediately today. So it's their business if they want to throw it out. It's just the point I'm making is that they are doing it. And when we, as a council, as a town, and taxpayers pay for communication, it would be nice if it was respected and at least read. But as I say, anybody can take me up on this and win tomorrow, and I'm sure you'll see another 20 more. But as I say, my dumpster diving stopped at 20. So that's just a point I'd like to bring forward. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Heenan. Sorry, it's just council now. Councillor Ware?
Yes, I'd like to comment on the flyers. I got mine yesterday for the simple reason I pick my mail up once a week, but I've gotten a lot of calls. I put it on 3 Facebook pages, got a lot of likes, a lot of thank yous, and a lot of inquiries as to how to get a copy of it and that type of thing. So people are trying to get engaged. In fact, I had a call this afternoon on it from a chap that lives right on the border between Shamcook and
Bayside?
and the town on the Bayside 127. Everybody thinks it's Bayside, it's not, it's Shamcook, but that's why I got the call. But so people are interested. They do want to know whether they can make written submissions, whether they should appear in person. I've suggested they do both. And so I thought an overwhelming reaction from me, who is not active on Facebook. You know, maybe it was that they were shocked to see something up from me, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
Thank you, Councillor Weir. Any other councillor? Deputy Mayor? No? Okay. Well, then it's me, acting mayor's comments. That would be me. I wrote a couple down. First, I want to congratulate, I received a letter August the 25th from the Association of Municipal Administrators of New Brunswick. They're pleased to inform us that Mr. Christopher Spear has been awarded Level 2 of the Professional Certification in Local Government Administration. So I'd like to congratulate Mr. Spear on it. He'll be presented that at the AMANB Annual Banquet on September the 10th, 2025 in Grand Bouctouche. So congratulations, Mr. Spear. That was a great accomplishment. So I wanted to say that. The second thing I'd like to say is Mr. Spear alluded to it. September 30th is Truth and Reconciliation Day. We will be housing it. I have to get together with the Recreation Director, Mervyn, because Paul's away and he's not here to help me, but I know that we'll continue to do it, and it'll be September the 30th, hopefully at 6 p.m. on Indian Point. So please come out, rain or shine, we'll have it there, and we will have our annual Truth and Reconciliation Walk in silence around the point. Bring your drum if you have one. If you don't, bring a rattle, bring a noisemaker that you've made. That would be awesome to have those going around the point. I think it's awesome, and I think it shows us the remembrance of all of those women and children and residential school non-survivors that didn't make it home, and the survivors that came home. It's our remembrance to them. So please come out that day and join us. I'd like to see you out there. Thank you very much. I want to thank Judy and Brian for inviting council and myself to their 50th wedding anniversary on Saturday. I went there and it was a fabulous day. It was a great turnout, and it was I really, truly enjoyed it, and we gave them a certificate from the town. So kudos, 50 years of marriage. So that's quite an achievement. So thank you, Judy and Brian. So I think that's it that I have. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is we do have a closed session tonight. And so it is at 7:15, p.m. that we will be going into closed session as per Local Governance Act, Section 68I of the or 1. Is that an I? J, sorry. Labor and employment matters, including the negotiation of collective agreements. And I need a mover. Councillor Heenan, a seconder. Deputy Mayor Neal. All those in favor of going into closed session? Aye. Contrary minded? We will go into closed session in a few minutes. We'll give time for everybody to move out. And thank you, CHCO, for doing the TV monitoring tonight. Thanks, Flo, for all your efforts. Thanks, Natalie, for coming tonight.